Get your oar ready, sweetie.
This is Pisceum.
We're not gonna make it around the corner, but I'm gonna try.
Neither of us had ever sailed before. It all started by spending late, lazy nights browsing used boat ads. Before long, we saved a bit of cash and actually started going out to look at some of them. In the summer of 2016, we found this one. After a successful sea trial with the owner, we made an offer of $2,500. He accepted our offer and we found ourselves the owners of a very real sailboat. We watched the Canada Day fireworks from the boat that night, and it really was the beginning of a new era for us.
We moved the boat to North Vancouver, where we immediately hauled her out of the water. She was in desperate need of paint. It took us way too long to sand her down, remove all the old lettering, repaint her, as well as some surprise fix-ups. Washing windows during the day and would go to the boatyard after work. By the end of it, I think she turned out pretty good.
The couple that bought the boat knew were called Ron and Lisa, and they had named it Ronless. We had a renaming ceremony. You say some words to the water gods, drink champagne, and drop the old boat name written in water-soluble ink into the ocean to be washed away.
My parents flew out from Ontario for our very first trip. It was also Lisa's first time meeting them. There was no wind that day, so we motored out of Vancouver at an exhilarating 3 knots. Our engine died after a few hours and we failed miserably at sailing.
In November that year, we spent a weekend at Keats Island with some of our friends. We had an amazing weekend. When it was time to go home, we left first. We were the smallest boat, and it wasn't long before everyone else passed us. We sailed for a couple of hours, but were making little headway with our tacks. As the wind was getting stronger, we pulled in the sails and started motoring. Then, after a few more hours fighting what was now a storm towards Vancouver, we lost our engine. By now it was gusting 30 knots and pouring rain, so we made the call to turn around and let the wind carry us back to a small town called Gibson's. We made it further in an hour than we had all day in the other direction. When we were able to tuck in towards the town, we met with a towboat that brought us into the marina. We both had to call in stranded to work the next day and ended up hitchhiking to track down a new fuel filter. The mission was successful, and we made it home with much better weather the next day.
On each side here, top and bottom.
The hose clamps?
Yeah, the hose clamp. That, we don't have a replacement O-ring.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
There.
Oh, we do, yeah. We do. Yeah.
Comes with it.
Okay, I'm taking this out now.
get in there.
Now people are coming, I feel silly.
What are we making here?
Caesars.
While the world is turning slow, we grab the girls and go. Pack the car and roll to the water down the road. No fears again and no.
Biggest problem is we don't have ice.
Beers are wet and cold.
But
All things
we got lots of
possible.
Worcestershire sauce.
It's okay, we're on a boat, it doesn't have to
Optional.
be. Everything tastes better on a boat.
That is true.
So we just got here. I gave the kitties some food. Is that delicious? In 2019, Gibson's provided an unexpected refuge for us for a second time, but from a completely different angle. We left Vancouver in the early afternoon of the longest day of the year, bound for an anchorage 25 nautical miles across the Strait of Georgia with our friend Aaron and both cats. And we lost the sun around 9:30 with just 6 nautical miles to go. The wind picked up as it became dark, and according to the GPS, we were not moving. Not good. We held our position until 2 a.m. when we ran out of fuel. It had gotten pretty windy now, and it was also a moonless, pitch black night, so we turned around and went with the wind, which carried us in one straight tack right to Gibson's. Zach siphoned the diesel from our heater so we could fire up the motor when we arrived at 8:30 the next morning, now having crossed the strait twice. And we had a great, albeit unexpected weekend hanging out in Gibson's.
I had like fucking weird haircut. Sharp